Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Phoenix and this is the Consumer's Guide to Filmmaking. Master Gardener, 2023, Paul Schrader. This film follows a man by the name of Narvel Roth. Tending to Gracewood Gardens under the watch of Norma Haverhill, Norma tells Narvel that he must take on her niece Maya as an apprentice. Once Maya arrives at the garden, her presence begins to affect Narvel in ways that he couldn't imagine, both positive and negative. This was possibly the most Paul Schrader movie ever made by Paul Schrader. Not that that's a super big indictment though. I definitely enjoyed this very contemplative drama thriller sort of movie. Look, Paul Schrader has a very distinct style as a director, especially in terms of visual elements, and his framing is very purposeful. He wants you to soak in everything in a shot, making even simple conversations have distinct rhythms. He loves pulling focus, and there are some nice character moments that are emphasized by his use of it. There are some lovely longer takes as well and dolly pullbacks that he loves to do that really give you a sense for the scenery. There is also some nice editing and surreal imagery to this film. The credits open with elapsed shots of flowers blooming, and there is this one sequence where Narvel and Maya are driving down a road that starts to grow green with foliage. There are scenes where we start smash cutting to past events, and it provides a very subtle and jarring way of expositing backstory. The score, though, is probably my favorite aspect of the film. Composed by Dev Hynes, the score for this film is arranged with incredibly ethereal and quiet synths and pianos. Going through multiple phases in one scene, they will hit pleasant highs like you're listening to something by Tangerine Dream or whatever, or discordant lows like prison-era Burzum. The lows often come when we are getting glimpses of Narvel's past, which is physically plastered on his body. The final song, similar to the one in the card counter, is a very bittersweet sort of lovey-dovey ballady song. It blends in with the synth arrangements well, and is more memorable than the one from the card counter, honestly. But the writing is where I kinda have to draw the line here. As much as I think the story of this film is good, and the dialogue is Paul's usual poetic weirdness that I really dig, Paul is clearly just playing the hits at this point. Thematically, it is a very interesting story of redemption, and seeing this neo-Nazi slowly forge a better life for himself through this young black girl was a nice thing. He eventually learns to stand up to his old crone of a boss, and that was nice. But Paul just tells it in the same way he told First Reformed in the card counter. Especially the fucking card counter. Oh my god, guy with a journal has a checkered past, and he slowly finds his way to redemption through love. Fucking been there, done that, it was better the first 2 times. Paul needs to move on now. The cast is definitely a saving grace though, and they sell that Schrader dialogue really well. Joel Edgerton took a while to get into a groove with this one, but once he was able to sink his teeth into some really meaty scenes, that's when he was able to really bring this character to life. His little awkward reactions and sheepish way of expressing himself was a nice contrast to when he has to go fucking full beast mode and is super intimidating. Sigourney Weaver was really entertaining in the role of Norma. She constantly had this weird, smug demeanor, and she could bitch it up with the best of them. Contessa Swindell was good in this film, and played the troubled youth role really well. While not as strong as Edgerton or Weaver's performance, she played off of those two decently, and she held her own at times. Okay, fuck this. Paul needs to move on from this. Look, shtick is nice, and Paul Schrader's current shtick isn't bad, but you need to mix it up once in a while. Master Gardener boasts strong writing and filmmaking, but it's nothing I haven't seen before in his better movies. The last 2 times he did this fucking movie. The cast, though, crush it, and that is enough to win me over, surprisingly. Give it a watch if you're looking for a more contemplative sort of drama. Yeah. And I am feeling a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10 on this one. I think it's closer to a 7 than a 7.5 because fuck me, Paul Schrader needs to do something else other than this. Catch you later, guys.